Hi, I'm Phil from PicoKit, and today we're going to have a look at how to use etching on a Red Baron 100-watt laser cutter from PicoKit. So let's get some quality image etching. We're going to start with Photoshop and do some processing just to make it a little bit nicer so we can use some more power on our laser cutter and get a good gradient levels from light to dark. So let's go into our internet and we're going to search for Mustang in Google Images. Let's go to Images, and when we've done that, then we can go Tools, Size, and we're going to pick a large one. Okay, now there's lots of different images that you can do. Mind you, dark on dark is not a good image when you're laser etching. Something with a bit of contrast like this, that's pretty good. White background. Doesn't have to have a white background, but certainly that can help. Mind you, that's a bit of a dark color, so I would probably lighten that up a bit, but you might lose a bit of the reflections and things. So you try to get something that's going to stand out. I like this one. This one in black and white already looks amazing, and it's 1600 by 900. Thank you, Ken Grody Ford, for this image. It's lovely. We're going to right click on that, save image as. I'm going to call it Mustang. Google wants to call it ABCDF, whatever. Mustang 001. Let's do that in the downloads folder, just so I remember it for later. Okay, so we could take that straight into Smart Carve, but that would not be so beneficial to us. We're going to go File, New in our Photoshop. We can give it a name if we want to save it for later, Mustang. It's going to give us some random width and height. I think it was like 1600 by something, wasn't it? 1600. Let's put in 1600 by 1000. Resolution, pixels per inch. I don't know. Let's go 300 just because. Let's do that and see what it does for us. So file and place. If we go to our downloads and we find that, so M for Mustang, and 001 is the original. Okay, so we've got this Mustang. That's actually pretty close, isn't it? Maybe it is 300 DPI. It's a nice photo. Mind you, Ken Grady, sorry, I love your work, but I'm not really a fan. Let's edit this anyway. So let's go to image, canvas size. It's not letting us. We've got to place it. Okay, place the image. Enter. There we go. Now we can go image, canvas size, and we're going to change that to pixels, and we're going to change that to 800. 1600 by 800. Yes, proceed. Look at that. Okay, that's chopped and cropped that image a little bit. So let's go and select that image, and we can probably move it up. Move it up a little bit. Just get rid of the Ken Grody. Thanks, but I don't want to etch Ken Grody. Okay, image. Change that again. Canvas size. Let's make it 700 pixels because we're sort of going down a bit far there. So 700 pixels. Proceed. I could shorten it up, but that's pretty good. Let's just bring that down. That looks pretty nice. So let's straight away file, save as, and we're just going to call it Mustang PSD. Downloads folder. No, I'll save it somewhere else. So we'll do that one. Mustang PSD in there. Now, that's not all we want to do. What we need to do is we need to actually reduce our blacks. You see, laser cutters have this tendency to overpower the black because the dot of a laser cutter is a little bit bigger than a pixel. Okay, and so your white areas, even if they're next to a black area, they're going to start to just have that a little bit more black. So if you went black, white, black, white, black, white, with pixels, you'd end up just blowing it away with your dot size. Okay, so basically, to compensate, we reduce the black by a straight percentage. And what that means is we're going to use a tool in here under Image and Adjustments, but it's not going to let us. Why isn't it going to let us? Well, we need to merge these together. So we go Merge Down, and that's going to put our image on the background. I don't think we can move it around anymore. Could not use them. The layer is locked. Look at that. Let's unlock the layer. Normal mode, color mode, opacity. That's fine. Oh, look, it's unlocked. Now I can move it, but you'll see that it's lost the rest of the image detail. So we don't want to move it anymore. That's where we are, and we've merged it. Now we can go Image, Adjustments, and everyone knows brightness and contrast. You might know levels, curves. Curves is what we're going to use. So in here, in Photoshop, we've got this thing called curves, and basically it's a line that's got a dot at each end. And you can move that line down like that, or you can move it across, or you can move it down and across. Okay, so we want to know what these do. Well, in particular, if we move this up, that's going to brighten everything by a percentage. So if I go there, it actually just looks a bit washed out. But the white hasn't gone super bright. Like it hasn't actually lost any of the detail. It's just reduced it by a percentage there. And so 98, that's actually probably a bit much. Well, it's probably not. You just add more power at the laser cutter. Okay, so we can do that. If we did it this other way and we brought this one down, what would that do? Well, that would darken everything. Okay, so what happens if you darken and lighten everything? It looks really weird. That removes a lot of the contrast. Now, the problem with brightness in Photoshop, you can't just use brightness because it does this. Oh, you make it bright. What's that doing? Well, that's making the light colored areas brighter, but it's keeping the dark colors dark. It hasn't made the dark colors dark at all. And so that's what brightness does. Contrast brings them both together. It's really annoying. So this is, you'll see, it's making the dark areas darker. So if you go sideways, it makes the dark areas darker, or the light areas lighter. And if you do the two, that's like your contrast. Okay. So that's what. So basically, we're editing in here, but the one we want to do is we want to move this one up, and that gives us that percentage of dropping out the blacks, whether it's in the white area or the black area. That's what we want to do. So there, I'm going to leave that output at 94. It actually goes up to 255. Okay, so 94 or 90 thereabouts is it's more than 30%. It's about 40% lighter. Let's click on OK. That's our image ready to bring into our software. So let's save, and then we're going to export. Okay, so we'll export. No, we won't. Save as. So we've saved it as a PSD. Let's go and save it as a JPEG in here, and we're going to call it Mustang _001 in the laser cutting folder. Okay, that's fine. Very good. So we'll have a look at Smart Carve. Okay, this is a setup here for 900 by 600, I think, the Red Baron. I'm going to go to my parameter library, and I've got nothing. Okay, I haven't got my parameters in this computer. That's fine. We want roughly for 12mm pine, we're going to use 9590. On layer 1, 9590 and a speed of 10 for cutting through 12mm pine. And we're going to import an image. This one here that says bitmap, but that'll handle JPEGs. I'm going to find that laser cutting folder. We want our Mustang photo. There it is. Nice. Okay, that's a fairly high res photo. Pretty good one. When I zoom in on that though, you'll see it's still quite pixelated. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change our resolution. It automatically comes in at this 0.265. We're going to change the X to 0.04. This is on a 100 watt laser. If you were going to a 25 watt laser, you might want to change it to 0.02. or 0.03. Y scan 0.07 will just give us a good variation between speed and quality. Okay, you could put that down, your Y scan back down to 0.04 as well, but these settings that I'm showing you are set up for 0.04 and 0.07 scan intervals. If I hit apply, you'll see, oh yes, we do have a bit more data in that photo. Also, we want to change the size. So while it's selected, we've got our size up here, and we can lock our aspect ratio. So we'll change our size to say 120 millimeters. Makes it a bit smaller. Use that A button to zoom. Okay, so that's our photo. Now, the last thing you want to do, which a lot of people don't realize in the settings, photo settings, is we're going to choose net, and it's going to look very odd. But we certainly know net has been applied in this circumstance. And what is net? What's net doing? Well, in some areas, you'll see that the dot is very small. The laser dot is very small, and it sort of changes the dot size. So we're not actually looking at the laser dot, but we're looking at a pattern here that the laser will produce. And that means our light colored grays will merge in our eye. So even though that doesn't look like it's got much data, it certainly does have a lot of data, and that will provide a very nice photo, like the one I'll show you how it's turned out soon. Okay, so that's one thing you might want to do. Also, with that, if we use the put to origin, that'll put it to the nozzle. Use our A to zoom in. We could zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we've got our image ready to etch now. Almost ready. We just need, while it's selected, to go onto our layer 11. We're going to change the power 30, tab 30, tab 300 for a speed. Okay, and that's set up now to etch on pine. That'll etch quite nicely. Now, if we wanted to cut that out as well, I can show you with our rectangle tool. We can place a rectangle. Now, we can make that the same size. If you see over here our object list, that's our two objects that we have just in written format. Layer 1 has the rectangle, layer 11 has the bitmap. Well, if we select the bitmap first, control-click the rectangle, we can use make same size. And so now we've got a rectangle the same size as the bitmap, and align centers. And so now we've got that cut line that goes around our object. Now, one thing I notice up here, because I couldn't load up my parameters, it's going to process the rectangle before the bitmap. So what I need to do, I can change my priority to 99, and now you'll see that the bitmap is going to etch before it cuts the rectangle. Okay, so they're the settings. You can plug it into your laser cutter, press File Load, and transfer that. Give it a temp name or call it Mustang. And then we'll go over to the laser cutter and we'll look at how that is going to process on the laser cutter. Make sure you save it in Smart Carve as well.